Well, no, that's exactly right. And the other thing, too, about Lydia Thorpe is that, she left her party. And so, this is something I think that we really need to have a real think about in this country, too, is when you are elected to a party on a ticket, you're elected on a Senate ticket, it's not you who's running specifically, and then you get into the Senate and then you ditch that party. Well, what's the reason for you being there? You shouldn't be there.
Someone who did that was, of course, Fatima Payman.
Yes.
I'll be talking about her later on in the show, where she and Lydia Thorpe belong, which is in Clown Show, of course.
Was disgraceful. I don't think enough has been said there. I think, at least with Lydia these days, after the glowing commentaries died down, she now actually does have some scrutiny, including from the media. But Payman, what she did this week, and I know you're going to be talking about it later in the program, I thought that was one of the most disgusting things I've seen on the Australian Parliament.
Let's just show what we're talking about.
In another statement, she says, we're bringing in people from South Africa at the moment. There's a huge amount coming into Australia who have disease. They've got AIDS. If that is not racist, what is it?
No, she said a lot more than that. That's I'm sure we'll be playing it later in the program. But the comments she made towards Senator Hanson were absolutely despicable, beneath contempt, and I think she gets away with it because she wears a hijab. She's a picture of diversity in Australia. And I can tell you, wearing a hijab should not give you a pass for behaving that way in Parliament.
Well, what was worst about the way she behaved, James, was that she accused Senator Hanson of racism based on some comment, a legitimate comment from 20, 30 years ago about people with HIV or AIDS coming in from an area which had a large population that had HIV or AIDS. So a perfectly legitimate medical comment, which Payman
but also
accused her of racism. But what is sickening is that Fatima Payman, I don't hear her calling out racism when we have people marching up and down the streets with their anti-Semitic behaviour, smashing cars in Wallara, smashing Christmas decorations outside Myers, yelling about F the Jews or Where's the Jews or anything else. We don't hear a word from Fatima Payman. That's racism, Fatima Payman. What you condone or allow, or what you don't condemn. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. What you fail to condemn there, that is real racism.
Standard you walk past.
Yes, that's right. The standard you walk past. I mean, the one thing I will say in her defence is that she did essentially kill off the misinformation bill, so you can kind of give her a little bit of credit for that one there. Yeah. But, that said, though, there's also have a huge problem with this whole idea of policing the lines of debate, what are acceptable things, what are unacceptable things to talk about, which is exactly what her and the left, when they entertain her, are trying to do. And, we'll be talking a bit later in the program about, the way even on the left people are talking about immigration in ways that they weren't, even a year ago in Britain and places like that. We do not need more policing of debate on these matters.
Absolutely.